Hi, this is Ron from Off the Charts Games. Today we're going to talk about a game called Africana from Z-Man Games. The objective of this game is to gather as many victory points as possible, and the way you do that primarily is by completing missions that are scattered across the bottom of the board here. There will always be 5 available at all times, and the way you start to claim an expedition is to play cards to be able to move your pawn to the starting city. In this case, Addis Ababa. I can play this card to move to Jeddah, and my wild card to be able to move me to Addis Ababa, and that allows me to place my marker on there saying I've started this expedition. And also, because of the coin symbol above it, allows me to take one more coin to add to my stash. Now I can claim this card by continuing to move on a later turn from here to the Congo to finish this. At that time, I would get 4 coins and turn that expedition under here, and I would hang on to that to get the 2 victory points at the end of the game. The other way that you can get points in this game is to go after these artifact cards. There are 2 sets of artifact cards, one with white markers on the top and one with brown markers on the top. The ones with the white markers that are here on the north part of the island, or north part of Africa, can only be purchased when you're in the south. The ones with the dark on it can only be purchased when you're in the north. So you have to buy them on one section and move to the other section of the board to be able to utilize them. They have 2 different types of characteristics. They can either be artifacts like this one, which you can claim by moving again to Addis Ababa on a later turn, and you can collect sets of these artifacts and they will be worth points at the end of the game. The other thing you can do is to get helpers who will help you during the course of the game. This one you have to go to Dakar to claim. Once you claim this card, you would get one of these to match that symbol. You would discard this, you would put this back in your deck, and it'll allow you to move to any blue space on the board on your turn. And it, like the wild card, you'll never have to discard. So what you do, and on your regular movement cards, you do have to discard them at the end of each turn. So on your turn, you have the option. You can play cards out of your hand and move your guy. Or you can play 5 coins and buy one of the artifact cards that you're going to claim later by going to the appropriate city. Or you can draw 2 new cards off of the dark draw deck to give you more movement later on in the game. The object is obviously to get as many of these expeditions completed as possible. The game is over when this expedition pile is completely exhausted, and the person who gets the most points at the end of the game wins. Points will come from completing expeditions, collecting sets of artifacts. It will also be, you will get money for having coins in your possession, and you can get points for having movement cards left over at the end of the game. One key thing about this game that is I really like is the fact that if you have too many helpers during the course of the game, it actually causes you to score negative points at the end of the game. So they're terribly useful during the game, but they actually cost you points at the end of the game. That's it for Africana, a great game from Z-Man Games.